So they go out, conquer everybody, subjugate them. They give tribute. They are forced into flower wars.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
familiar with flower wars?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Flower Wars.
Okay. For you at home, the Aztecs believed. Okay, their religion was very interesting because they didn't.
One of many adjectives we could use.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Their relationship with deity was a bit unique. In most religious traditions, God is a powerful being who you are trying to get something from. It's a little cynical sounding, but it's, God is someone powerful. You pray or you sing or you fast or you make sacrifices, and they will make good things happen to you or make you have good luck, good crops, and all of that sort of thing. The Aztecs didn't believe that. They believed that the gods were these natural forces, but that they had to be kept kind of at bay because they could only feed on Chalchihuatl, the precious liquid that lives inside of human beings, inside of our blood.
Plasma?
Yeah, kind of. We'll go with plasma. But they had to be fed this stuff. Because if you didn't keep them well fed, you run the risk of them coming to Earth, killing and eating all the people, and then no longer having their food source. The universe will fall apart and collapse, and we all die.
So you got to keep your gods fed and distant.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Right.
Makes sense.
So the Spaniards, when they, like the conquistadors, when they came to the New World, they made a big deal about the natives think that we're gods. This was an exaggeration, to say the very least. There were definitely instances of native people revering them at first, or thinking that they were some kind of supernatural entity, but generally they were not worshipped. That was the conquistadors' self-aggrandizing. The Aztecs may have actually believed it, but not in a good way.
But it's not a good thing.
It was, not enough sacrifices. The gods have come. Get your swords. Get your macahuitls. It's time to try to kill the gods before they can devour the entire human race. Anyway, so because you have to feed the gods to keep the world going, sacrifices were a huge part of their religion. Human sacrifices, especially. So they would go out, and for a while they would just go out and attack these surrounding city-states, right? These local people.
Other tribes.
And bring them back and sacrifice them. But eventually after they had subjugated anyone, they didn't have a good reason to
when the
keep
people
doing
have
things.
already
Like,
surrendered.
you can't really go any farther as far as conquering. Like, logistics just weren't holding up. And so finally they come up with this idea of the Flower War, or I guess you could call it like a the Spaniards called it a Guerra Florida, a flowery or flowered war. And what they would do is essentially they would go to one of these already subjugated city-states and say, look, we want to make a deal with you. We know that you want to rebel. Who wouldn't? We are willing to meet you halfway. Gather up as many soldiers as you have, and we will bring the same number of soldiers.
Equal playing field.
Fair's
fair.
We'll pick out a nice, even place. Like, there won't be any ambushes. There won't be any strategic things or any sieges. We'll just go to this place. We'll all show up. We'll all agree to the rules.
And try to kill each other like civilized people.
Yeah, we'll try to kill each other like civilized people. You know what? we'll even change our swords so that they don't actually, like, chop. We'll just put, like, spikes on them so that they'll disable you without killing you. But that's a real thing, by the way. The macahuitls, there were two kinds. One that was just, like, straight obsidian blades. Oof. And one Spaniard noted that he saw an Aztec warrior cut the head off a horse with a single swipe.
Oh.
Using that thing. But the more common one is they would just do these spikes, right? It was just like a wooden paddle looking thing. And they would just do spikes so that...
It was a board with a nail in it.
Essentially, yeah. And it was designed so that if you hit someone with it, right, a normal like sword hi-ya thing with it, that the blades could only penetrate so deep so that it would leave non-lethal but debilitating wounds.
Oh, boy.
So they would gather up all of these. But so that was the other part of the Flower War was, we'll play fair. We won't attack your city. We won't burn your fields. We'll all meet up at this spot on the day that you want. We won't even, like, we won't do it during harvest time. We won't do it, just every possible accommodation.
We don't want to inconvenience you with this thing.
We don't want to inconvenience anyone. We don't want there to be hard feelings. But anybody that we take gets sacrificed. Though that, I don't know how we could be more accommodating. Really. And if we don't do this, the world ends. So
our hands are tied, really.
This is for the best of everyone. This is in everyone's best interests.